Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel Excel Chapter 7 ML2 Finances. Go to the instruction file EXP19 Excel Chapter 7 ML2 Finances. If you want to complete assignment or exam, you can contact on my WhatsApp link and email. If you want to complete MylTLab courses, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint and Microsoft Access. We can do online courses accounting, math, stat, finance, economics and other courses. So we can move to the step number 1. Step number 1 is start the Excel, download and open the file name exp19 Excel chapter 7 ML2 finances. XLS grader has automatically added your last name to the beginning of the file name. Go to the Excel worksheet. I have already downloaded the Excel file. We can move to the step number 2. Step number 2 is the first step is to enter a formula reference the loan amount of beginning balance for the first payment. So in a cell B9 enter a formula that reference cell is D2. Go to the Excel worksheet. In the cell B9 enter a formula reference cell D2. Type is equal to and formula reference is a cell D2. Loan payment. Press enter button. So step number 2 is complete. We can move to the step number 3. Step number 3 is in a cell C9 enter a formula to reference the monthly payment in a cell D3. Use the mix cell reference and copy the formula to the range C10 to C68. Enter a formula cell C9. Select the cell as monthly payment C9 to reference to monthly payment in a cell D3. Type is equal to button and enter a reference is a D3 monthly payment and absolute cell reference. Apply the absolute cell reference. Press enter and copy the formula to C10 to C68. So step number 3 is complete. We can move to the step number 4. Step number 4 is in a cell D9 enter a IPMT function to calculate the interest paid for the first month using a mix reference to the input area for the rate, NAPR and PV argument and using the cell A9 per amount argument make sure result a positive value and copy the function to the range D10 to D68. Enter a formula cell D9. Go to the Excel worksheet and selected cell is the D9. Type is equal to and enter the IPMT function to calculate the interest paid first month using the mix cell reference. Type IPMT function, double click, open the IPMT function Calculate the interest paid first month using the mix and reference to the input area for the rate NIPER and PV argument using the cell A92 per argument. Rate is the selected cell is the D5 periodic rate and press the absolute cell reference. Press F4 button. Input area to the rate NIPER and PV argument and using the cell A92 per argument. Per is selected cell is A9 payment number and NIPER box is the D6 number of payments and apply the absolute cell reference. Press F4 button. NIPER is a select the cell is D6 and next is a PV. PV argument is using cell A9. R is A9 and PV is a manage G2 type of manage and monthly payment loan amount is D2. Apply the absolute references, press the F4 button. Click OK. Copy the function to the range D10 to D68. Copy the function D10 to D68. So we can move to the step number 4. Step number 4 is a complete. We can move to the step number 5. Step number 5. After calculating the interest paid, the rest of monthly payment repay the principal in a cell E9 after the PPMT function to calculate the principal paid for the first month using the mix reference to the input area for the reg number NIPER and PV argument and using the cell A9 to per argument. Select the cell E9 principal payment repayment. Enter the PPMT function to calculate the principal paid for the first month using the mix reference to the input area, reg, NIPER and PV argument and using the cell A9 for the per argument. Type is equal to and PPMT function. PPMT function is double click and type the open a PPMT function dialog box. Calculate the principal paid for the first month using the mix reference. Rate is a D5. Selected the periodic rate and absolute reference. Apply the absolute references. Press F4 button. Par is the A9 payment number and NIPER is a D6. D6 is the number of payments. Press F4 button, absolute reference. And PV is a 9 per argument. Manage G2. Type a minus. D2 is a loan amount. Press F4 button and click OK. Make sure the result positive value. Copy the function to the range E10 to E68. Copy the formula E10 to E68. So step number 5 is complete. We can move to the step number 6. Step number 6 is in a cell F9, calculate the ending balance by subtracting principal repayment from the beginning balance in a row 9. Copy the formula to the range F10 to F68. Go to the Excel worksheet and select the cell is F9 ending balance by the subtracting principal repayment from the beginning balance in a row 9. Type is equal to beginning balance minus principal repayment. Press the enter button and copy the formula to the range F10 to F68. So we can, step number 6 is complete. We can move to the step number 7. Step number 7 is in a cell B10, enter a formula that reference the first month ending balance in a cell F9. Copy the formula to the range B11 to B68. In a cell B10, enter a formula reference to the first month ending balance in a cell F9. Formula reference the first month ending balance in cell F9. Select the cell is B10. Enter a formula that reference the first month ending balance in cell F9. Type is equal to balance in a cell F9. And press the enter button. Copy the formula to the range B11 to B68. Copy the formula B11 to B68. Step number 7 is complete. We can move to the step number 8. Step number 8 is ensure the accounting number format is applied to the range B9 to F68. Copy the range and paste the range. Selected the cell range. Apply the accounting number format. Go to the home tab and go to the number group and apply the accounting number format. So step number 8 is complete. We can move to the step number 9. So step number 9 is in a cell F9, insert the compare function to calculate the cumulative interest paid for the first year. Use a A9 for the start period argument and B6 and a period argument. Use a 0 type argument. Make sure the result in a positive number. Go to the cell F2. Type is equal to. Insert the compare function. Type a minus compare function and select the cell is D5, D6, D2 loan payment, A9, B6, sorry, 0 and press the close bracket, press enter button. So step number 9 is complete. We can move to the step number 10. So the step number 10 is in a cell F3, insert the compare function to calculate the total cumulative interest paid for the entire loan. Use the A9 for the start period and D6 is the end period argument. Make sure the result is a positive value. Go to the cell is F3. Type is equal to. Type minus and compare function. And select the cell is D5, commas and number of payment D6, commas and D2 loan amount, commas and A9, comma D6, D6, comma 0 and close bracket, press enter button. Step number 10 is complete. We can move to the step number 11. Step number 11 is in a cell F4, insert the comparing function to calculate the cumulative principal paid for the first year. Use A9 for the start period and B6 for end period argument. Make the show the result positive value. Go to the cell F4. Type is equal to and insert the comparing function. Positive number and select the cell is D5 periodic rate, the commas and number of payment D6, comma and D2 is a loan amount, commas and A9. Select the cell is A9, commas and select cell B6. Payment per year. Press enter button. So step number 11 is a complete. We can move to the step number 12. Step number 12 is in a cell F5, insert the counting function to count the number of payment period in which the interest in the loan table is higher than 1/2 monthly payment cell D4. Select the cell is F5, type is equal to, insert the counting function, count the number. Counting function, open the counting function dialog box, and range is interest the table higher on the half monthly payment. Interest payment D9 to D68, and criteria is inverted commas, greater than, inverted commas, and D4. Click OK. So step number 12 is complete. We can move to the step number 13. Step number 13 is apply the general number format to cell F5. Select the cell as F5 and apply the general number format. General number format. Step number 13 is complete. We can move to the step number 14. Step number 14 is display the investment sheet in a cell D4. Insert the year function to extract the year from cell D3 and add the number of year cell B3. You will change the format from the result of the next step. Go to the investment sheet and cell D4, insert the year function D4 and insert the year function. Type is equal to year function. Select the cell as D3, start the first period. Plus B3 is a number of year. Press the enter button. So step number 14 is complete. Go to the step number 15. Ensure the general number format applied to cell D4. Select the cell as D4. Go to the home tab and number group. Apply the general number. Click OK.